You're listening to Up the Turnpike with hosts Mitch Anderson and Matt O'Leary.
Hello and welcome into a Up the Turnpike post-game show. What's going on? Matt O'Leary, Mitch Anderson. Mitch, how's it going?
I'm doing all right. My glasses are not. They are so smudged. It's ridiculous. I keep trying to wash them or clean them, and they just will not become unsmudged. It's just driving me bananas. With this big light in front of me, it's just reflecting off the smudge, and all I see is clouds. Ridiculous. So that's how I'm doing. What about you?
Doing pretty good. It's a snowy night here on Long Island, so I have some shoveling ahead of me tomorrow morning, it looks like.
You want to get on that as soon as possible. You don't want it to freeze because then it makes it even harder to move.
No, yeah, this is when I wake up in the morning, that'll be the first thing that happens here, but it's going overnight, so that's what's going on.
Fair enough.
Over here, and watched what I thought was going to be a pretty good Islander game. It looked that way through the first period and a half, and then things kind of fell apart pretty quickly after that.
They sure did. They sure fell apart pretty goddamn quick, so let's get right into it, huh?
Yeah, we got a lot of goals to talk about. 9 goals to talk about, Mitch. We'll get started with Marco Rossi here, scoring just .319 into this game.
Yeah, like 3 minutes in is not what you want to see, but the good rush there by the Wilds, and just goes right through. No, it wasn't through Sorokin, right? He kind of tipped that one in. A lot of the goals that went in were redirected, and Sorokin had a hard time with that. He
did have a hard time with that. Yeah, just he had a lot of room and a lot of space, and it was a good shot, and it ends up in the back of the net.
Oh, this is the one where, like, I feel Tony DeAngelo and oh my God, Bo Horvat take the same player. So watch as Bo Horvat kind of ghost where Tony DeAngelo is going there as they enter the zone. I kind of felt that with a few players here. Watch him. He comes down the middle, and then instead of taking the middle, he goes over to where the strong side, or not even strong side, but to Tony's side. Why would you do that?
Yeah, there's a lot of space right around here where my cursor is, which is not.
I assume he thought Anders Lee, who was a late man in, was going to take him, but he's already behind the play. You're in the play. My glasses are so crooked. You're already in the play, buddy. Just stay in the middle. Tony's got the guy on the side, or maybe. It just felt like there was. I don't want to say lack of trust, because I don't think that's what it is. It just seems that there was some, like, guys were overcompensating for Tony DeAngelo, and I'm not saying that as, oh, here we go, Tony D. It felt that way, that they're overcompensating for him. And I don't necessarily think they needed to. He wasn't really in the wrong, even in this situation here. So there's him and he being Bo Horvat and Romanov at sometimes in the game, just overcompensating. And I don't get it. It didn't make sense then. It doesn't make sense now.
No, it didn't make sense to me on that one. But the game would, or the lead rather for Minnesota would not remain for long. Just not even 20 seconds later, 13 seconds later.
Yeah,
Kyle Palmieri stays hot with another goal here, which things you love to see.
Yeah, when you're hot, just shoot it, and that's what he does. He doesn't have a great shot on this. He's just there, spins and fires. And Gustafsson has no idea where this shot is coming from. Has no idea.
I don't think he was expecting. That was my reaction to it. I don't think he was respecting the shot, but you got to give credit to Palmieri. It was kind of a nice spinorama move and had a ton of space to work with at the time.
Yeah. Is he a left? Yeah, he's a left catch, isn't he? So, like, usually those are easier to, or harder to score from that kind of distance, because you get the glove up pretty quick. But he did not in that instance. I don't think he had no idea that shot was coming.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know what 5 gave some room there from Minnesota. He was dropping back to who's 26, Perunovic.
Yes, right. Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. But Islanders tie it up in the first period at 1 goal apiece. Like to see that. No other goals in that first period. Shots were 12-8 Minnesota in that first frame, and each team took a penalty. Marco Rossi with a high stick on Pajot, and Perunovic holding against Foligno.
Mm-hmm. I thought the Islanders came out strong in this period, and they kind of had to, right? You're on the road, second leg of a back-to-back. You want to come out and establish your game and kind of take the wind out of their sails right from the get-go. And this isn't, as they said on the broadcast, and as you can see during the stats, this is not a good home team. So you can really get at them and get in their head right away if you really press your advantage. And they tried, it just couldn't get through Gustafsson more than once in the first period, that is.
It couldn't. But in the second period, second started well, Mitch. I thought we were going to get a good Islanders game. I thought we were going to get, maybe they could beat Minnesota for the first time. They haven't beaten them since 2019. That's crazy. It's been a really long time. But anyway, just 28 seconds into the period, Brock Nelson, who's also scoring a lot of goals here, would get on the board. Really nice play from Siplikov on the feed.
Yeah, absolutely. Sipper has been on one for since coming back, and we were talking on the Patreon Discord channel about how we would be pissed if Brock had scored this goal against us, or any player had scored this goal against us, because he just sits there. Look how long he's standing there, and no one catches him.
That it does not get any easier for Brock Nelson. He had so much room, and it was a tough play for Siplikov to get that over, because clearly there was a lot of traffic in front of the net, but nobody was within a country mile of Brock Nelson.
Yeah, I don't understand. He was there forever. He built the house. He was there so long. All his mail is getting sent to that area of Minnesota for multiple reasons.
Oh, I wonder why.
But yeah, man, embarrassing stuff for the Minnesota Wild. 28 seconds in, just kind of fell asleep coming into the period. And we thought, at least I did anyways, going, all right, here we go. We're back in this one. Let's keep going. And then it gets even better.
Yeah, I mean, Perunovic with an unreal pass to Anders Lee, who has just continued his strong season up to 23 goals on the year. Good play to keep it in as well. And everyone in the world thought he was going to Bo Horvat, myself included. But he goes to Anders Lee, who's able to stuff it home.
Yeah, because he's a left shot, right? And so you think it's going naturally towards Bo Horvat as it's breaking here. But he sees Anders Lee's wide open there. And it's more than, you don't see it in this play here. It's even before he jumps up to grab the pass, before he makes the play in front of the blue line to cut into the slot. He made so many good plays leading up to all of that on this play. Scott Perunovic, holy crap, in this game and leading up to it has been fantastic for the Islanders. Great. And we got him for a conditional 5th round pick next year.
RFA at the end of the year. I would imagine that he's back with how he's played.
If it keeps up, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Has been adding an offensive element, which clearly the New York Islanders could use. Unfortunately, things would go off the rails. Casey Cizikas takes a penalty, a holding call. Was almost surprised that who did he take it against? Hinostroza. Was surprised that he didn't get called as well after that, and it'd be 4-on-4. Unfortunately, it was only Cizikas who goes off, and this is where things kind of go nuts here, as Frederick Gaudreau would give the Wild, or get the Wild within 1 here to make it a 3-2 game.
Yeah, this is another redirected one that goes in through Sorokin. It's a redirected puck. It's
that was
off of Tony D. Sorry, there are 6 goals they scored. I've seen some people kind of crap on him. At least he scored tonight. We'll get to that one
tonight.
Yeah. Return to form game for Tony D. I don't want to crap on him for that one. I don't want to crap on him for either one of them, because what's it going to give me for doing that? I was right. I wasn't, and it's not like it gives us nothing, no pleasure here. And there's nothing he could have done differently on that play, on this specific goal.
Play. Yeah, I was just going to say, for full transparency, through 7-8 games that D'Angelo's been here, he's performed better than what I anticipated he will. Tonight wasn't his night. He didn't play well tonight. 2 went off him. He was channeling his inner Brandon Davidson, the tank god. We'll get the own goal was definitely worse, which we'll get to momentarily here, but.
Yeah, it was really bad. But this one, it just bounces off of him. Maybe he could have done a better job blocking it, but I don't think he saw it coming. I don't think he was expecting it to come either. Usually when you're going to block a shot, it's because all right, I'm going to get down in front of this. I don't think he saw this one, and so he kind of flinches almost, trying to do something at the very last second in 1/1000th of a second, and it just bounces in off of him. There's nothing he could have done.
All right, let's get to the tying goal from Matt Boldy here. Another tip in.
Yeah, classic tip in here. There's nothing Sorokin could have done on this one either. It's just a good tip. Maybe we do a better job of not getting them in the zone in the first place. But like these are going to happen. They're going to be able to get in the zone. There's a bit of a cuck there between Boquist and Adam Pelech along the boards, which they shouldn't have been there together in the first place. What the hell are you guys doing? But it is what it is. These are going to happen. Breakdowns are going to happen. These deflected goals are going to happen. It's how you react afterwards. And I think, as you were saying, leading up to these couple of goals here, that the wheels started falling off for the Islanders.
Yeah, and that's they would get one more. So instead of going into the period tied, which would have been deflating after going up 3-1, they actually go in down a goal because not even a minute later, Trennan gets his 6th of the year.
Yeah, another deflected goal, but Sorokin gets enough off on this one that you're like, you got a piece. You should have got all of it.
That trickled in. That's the one that stood out to me where you're like, all right, that's one Sorokin would have liked to had. The other ones, the 2 own goals for Tony D and some deflections. But you're right. This one should not have snuck through.
No, it shouldn't have. I don't think it changes much because at this point, you noticed it on just watching the game that the Islanders' legs were kind of gone. That kill, not even a kill, but like the Cizikas penalty, they spent the entire penalty kill in their zone, the full 2 minutes of it. Or the one before that, wasn't it? No, it was the whole the whole thing. They scored like seconds left in that power play. They were dead. And they're coming in from Winnipeg. Apparently Butchie was saying they came in late because there's snow in Winnipeg, which classic, although Minnesota's also still full of snow. Plus a border crossing and blah blah blah. They were tired, and you can tell by then.
I get it, but unfortunately, after what happened yesterday, and you have a 3-1 lead, like that's one that you've got to find a way to close out, especially with the 2-week break. Like that leaves a really sour taste in your mouth, losing these last 2 games in the way that they did, and now it's like, all right, you don't play again for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it makes you feel like poop. Absolutely. Says D. Matty D.
All right, to the third period we go here. 5:53 into it. Matt Boldy gets credited with the goal, but this is Tony DeAngelo trying to clear it, and it goes directly past Ilya Sorokin.
He's nowhere near the right position to clear. He's basically his blade is facing the net.
Yeah, that not good.
It's really hard. I know split second, 1/1000th of a second to make a decision. He just makes the wrong one in that minute there or that second. But like, God damn it, man, that looks bad. It really does.
I'm gonna play one more time. The turnover from Palmieri trying to get out of the zone was horrendous. Yeah. So it shouldn't have even really gotten to that point.
No, you're absolutely right. It should have stopped right there and then. Just at least get out of the zone. You don't need to make that last pass. Just at least get out of the zone and force them to leave if you're going to give up the puck. But he gives it up in his own zone. That's borderline criminal.
Gross.
And then Tony DeAngelo scores on his own goal, which is bad. It's really bad. But what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Like, it sucks, but you got a 2-week break now.
You got a 2-week break now. Empty net goal will show it.
Yeah.
Foligno from downtown. Long way to go on this one, and he was able to put it in. It's going to bounce to him in a second here. There you go. That puck traveled a long way.
Was it not?
Yes, it was.
Just my God, he was lucky to get that to go. I didn't think it was going to make it, but
no,
it broke favorably.
It did. He got it. You know, it was straight. It didn't. The puck wasn't rolling and curve away. He got it as good as he could. So 6-3 is your final. Nothing of note really happened after that with like 5 minutes left. And it was strange. No one really jumped over. I don't know if you noticed that. Kyle McLean had to be the extra skater, and they were like, yeah, on the broadcast they're saying nobody jumped over. So McLean kind of had to just react.
Yeah, I saw him out on the ice going, why is Kyle McLean out there on the 6-on-5? I don't understand. And then, the broadcast kind of shed light on that one. I don't mind it so much, Chad. I like the aggressive nature of it, and it shows Patty's got faith in his guys, but they just weren't on it today, I don't think.
When you're down 2, that's fine. I don't like it as early as he's done it in the past, down only 1 goal.
Right.
I think that's a little bit too risky. But down to, what's the difference between a 5-3 loss and a 6-3 loss at that point?
Fair. Yeah, that's fair. It's just, yeah, they were not. There's a couple of times in this game where they had really good offensive zone pressure. They had really good, they combined a couple of really good shifts, generated a lot of chances. Actually, it wasn't generated a lot of chances. They bandied the puck a lot and didn't get those chances. There was one specifically in the second. There was also power play, I think, in the third period, wasn't it, as well? Yeah, when the puck goes over the glass, they did a pretty good job on that power play, I believe. And they didn't really get anything out of it. Like, they're really good at just holding the puck, but nothing happened with it. Oh, the audio is cutting out, Andre is saying. Sorry, guys. I don't know if that's me, but we'll try to figure that out. I'm not touching anything.
The settings, okay, my fault. The settings are exactly the same here, so I don't know why that's causing it. I could stop the screen share. I don't know if that is going to do anything, but that's the only adjustment that I could think of. Yeah, try giving it a refresh as Chad pops in here. Sometimes that does the trick on the viewer end. If you refresh the screen, sometimes that's enough to fix it. So
yeah, usually it's my internet is crapping out, but my internet is fine.
So we'll give you some game stats. Shots on goal, 34 for the Islanders, 33 for Minnesota. Face-off percentage, Islanders much better, 59.3% to Minnesota's 40.7%. Power play, the Wild went 1 for 2. Islanders 0 for 2 on the power play tonight. 4 penalty minutes a pop. Hits 17-13. Islanders with more. Block shots, Islanders blocked 21 to Minnesota's 12. Giveaways 14-13, and takeaways were even with 3 apiece.
There's one thing that happened in the game that we didn't talk about, and it was I forget which goal that went in. Maybe it was the Boldy one. They were thinking of challenging for offside.
Oh, yes.
What were your thoughts on that?
It was borderline. Because it was one of those, he was definitely in first, but do you have possession when you are in? It might have been worth a challenge, but I don't know if they were going to do that.
Yeah, I felt the opposite. Yeah, I thought they weren't going to call that back because while, yes, he's not physically, like, if this is the puck in the stick, it's physically not on his stick, but he's he touched it and he's, holding it, if you will, within his position. I really thought that they were not going to rescind that goal. I thought it was going to be good because he's clearly within he's seeing it. It's in his aura. He's in control. We've seen Cale Makar get that called for him. So I thought that would go the Minnesota Wild way. I wouldn't have challenged it.
It was borderline. I thought it was where I would have challenged, but I would have understood if they said that the call on the ice stood or was confirmed.
Yeah. So like Gary's saying it was offside and he didn't have control. I know he didn't have physical control. Like it wasn't on his stick, but they've deemed possession of just like you are in control of where the puck is going, whether you actually have it on your stick physically or not. And so the fact that he's in front of it, he's seeing it, it's around him, and he's knowing where it's going. I thought that they would have got it. I think they would have agreed that it's a good goal.
So yeah, that's what David's kind of saying here. I want to pop up his comment before we go into the box score numbers. If we lose the challenge, it's 3-2, and then they're on a power play. He thought it was better not to risk it, which I got it. I'm not going to kill Patrick Waugh for not challenging that one. I don't think it was egregious. Like I said, it was kind of borderline.
Yeah.
So he didn't feel comfortable enough to challenge it, and it is what it is.
It is what it is, yeah. Okay, so the game?
Forwards. Who's leading the way tonight?
Brock Nelson.
1905 for Brock Nelson, had a goal and an assist.
Got to get the world Minnesota native out there as often as friggin' possible, huh?
He's showing off for his future team, right?
That's right. How long was Adida Minnesota native Anders Lee out there for?
14-17.
Okay, there we go. Least amount of ice time, I'm going to say, is Mark Gatcomb.
You keep guessing him, but it's Pierre Engvall every night. 9:56. It's always very close. Pierre Engvall 9:56. Mark Gatcomb 10:05. So you're looking at a 9-second difference there.
Oh, it's a little bit further than the other night. All right, defenseman. I'm going to say it's Scott Perunovich.
He was second. Good guess. 24.39 for Perunovic, and Alex Romanov was number 1 at 27.06.
Yeah, I just thought that the Minnesota guy would get some, and it seemed that they put him on power play 1 with Boquist, right? Which was interesting because we've not seen 2 defensemen on a power play for a while, and 2 very different kind of defensemen. It's not like Nick Leddy and Johnny Boychuk on the power play. It's 2 offensively gifted, if we will, a defenseman there buzzing around. It was interesting.
It was interesting. I'm very curious. You should guess who gets the least, but it's gonna be something. So who has the least?
Well, it's definitely Cholowski.
Yeah. You want to venture a guess on this ice time here?
So it was 6 minutes the other day. I'm going to say it's 8 minutes today. It's less than 6 minutes. Oh,
Mitch, it's more than half. 2 minutes and 52 seconds, 4 shifts.
what?
There was a point on either the broadcast or it might have been one of the beat reporters on Twitter, either Stefan Rosner or Andrew Gross, tweeted that he hasn't taken a shift since either late first or early second, and clearly he did not get another one. He had 4 shifts.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm looking at it now. He doesn't play in the third. He plays 3 shifts in the first period and then plays 1 shift in the second at 3:05 to 3:26 and does not see the ice again.
We have a Patrick Waugh quote on the Dennis Cholowski, so I will share that so we can pull it up here. If you give me just half a second here.
I'll give you more than that. As many seconds as you want.
I just had it up. I shouldn't have stopped my screen share. That was really my own fault here.
Well, it's fine. We tried to accommodate everyone here to make sure that they had.
I'll just read it. I'll just read it instead. It's not a long quote. It says, "We just play to win. We're just going to continue to do that." So clearly, one more time. We just play to win. We're just going to continue to do that.
Yeah. Oh my God. Just catching strays there. Why have him? If you're going to play him 2 minutes or 3 is 3 something you said?
252.
Why? I'd rather have Isaiah George here for that.
I think so too.
Holy cow. Yeah, absolutely. The Wicked 50, like killing Cholowski with that quote. The ice time and then the quote. Holy crap, man. That's bad.
He wasn't on the ice enough for me to notice something he did wrong.
Yeah, you're talking about 4 shifts. I don't know what he did in that second period at 3:05. Like we scored and then we scored another one between those 2 shifts. So, and we were playing well, I thought. The wheels fell off when you stopped using Cholowski effectively. I'm not saying we lost because we're not playing Dennis Cholowski, but oh my God. My God, that's really kind of crazy. I don't get it, man. I just play someone else. Just play someone else.
Yeah, not ideal.
But okay. And then Sorokin had his how much, right?
844 save percentage.
Okay. Do you think they should have played Skarek today?
You talked me out of it. I thought we would see him for one of these 2 games, but you talked me out of it when we were talking about, I think it was the regular show on the pod on Wednesday, talking about like the break. They have the 2-week break. So
I think that's it. They just ran him to the ground, ran him being Sorokin to the ground, thinking, all right, you got 2 weeks to recover. But like, he didn't play that well today. I don't think Skarek would have made any difference. I think it would have been as bad based on how the team played around Sorokin today. But like, oof, bad. There we go. Andre talking about defenseman there. Can we call up Baduk? He is playing better. He has 14 points in 10 games. I don't think he put up a third one today for Bridgeport.
No.
5 multi-point games in those 10 games.
He's been playing well this year. He might be one of those guys who's like almost too good for the AHL, but not good enough for the NHL.
Perhaps.
They just feel maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like they kind of saw what they needed to at the NHL, and I don't think they're going to call him back up.
I think you're right. I don't think they're going to do it, but like at a certain point, you've got Dennis Cholowski there occupying a spot on the bench, playing almost 3 minutes. Just put someone younger who's going to develop maybe into something. At this point, if you haven't seen it from Bolduc, then you certainly haven't seen it from Cholowski. So play someone. I'm not saying it has to be Bolduc, but like George, can you not play him 10 minutes a night? That'd certainly be better than 2 minutes a night. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous. So. Anyways.
Let's close out here with some more comments.
All right. So it starts off was on a Dallas Stars chat. I heard a rumor that got me excited. To Dallas, Dobson, Kyle Palmieri. To New York, Wyatt Johnson, Christian Kyrou. They got tons of LTIR space. I don't know anything about Christian Kyrou.
Me either.
And then Alon saying, I live in Dallas. I love Wyatt Johnson. By the way, if the Isles resign Nelson, they might as well just delay their needed rebuild for an extra few years. This team is not good enough to rebuild ASAP.
The Wyatt Johnson would be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if they are going to actually do that though. I don't see them moving off of him.
Yeah, I don't necessarily see that either. I don't know anything about this Kyrou kid. I know about Jordan Kyrou. I don't know anything about Christian, who I think is his brother, is it not?
He was a second rounder in 2022. He's got 13 points in 27 games as a right shot defenseman in the AHL with the Texas Stars.
Can he stay healthy? I'm just looking at his game counts. 27, 30. Oh, that's maybe a full season there. And if for Erie, 57 in the AHL. Okay, yeah, no, I take that back. He can stay healthy. I don't know. I don't know if that's enough. Oh, I don't think I'd do that. I don't think I would. I love Wyatt Johnson, but I don't think I would do that. Yeah.
No, it'd be fun to have Wyatt Johnson on this team, and he's a young player or a younger player that would be a nice addition.
Absolutely. Nick is saying Duclair hasn't played well, but it's obviously he's still hurt. Everything looks very labored. Yeah, you think so?
I think he hasn't looked the same since coming back to me.
Yeah. But
which has been a while now.
It has been a while. You thought he'd be up to caught up to the moving train, as they say.
So he came back in December.
Yeah.
And he had 3 points
right
in his first 3 games, but then since then he has 2 since the 29th of December.
And like Nick is saying, looking a little labored whenever he's doing something out there.
2 points in the last 17.
Yeah.
Not enough.
That's not enough. Resigning Brock Nelson is just not a good idea. There you go, Matt. About the snow. It will rain and clear the snow, so you'll be fine.
I hope so. That's what happened the other day.
Yeah. Corey's asking me why I don't get LASIK. I don't want a laser surgery in my eyes. I'm good. I'll wear the glasses, maybe even contacts at some point. I don't want to put lasers in my eyes. I'm good.
Fair enough.
Scares the shit out of me. Okay, what else we got here in this chat? Let me scroll down the audio offside. Okay. We're talking about Elias Pettersson early in the chat. I don't want to say you're wrong because Andre was saying that he feels that Vancouver is trying to move Pettersson. Here's the first one. Getting a feeling that Vancouver is pushing hard to trade Pettersson during this break. The Elias Pettersson, the real one, not the fake one, or the other Pettersson they just brought in. Think he ends up in Buffalo. That'd be disastrous for him. Oh my God, don't send him to Buffalo.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't go there for his sake, unfortunately.
And then Rain is saying, don't want to say you're wrong, but I'm in Vancouver and Pettersson just had a great game. I think they're giving him his run, especially till the offseason. Maybe then he gets reevaluated. That's kind of what you were saying before, huh?
There was I forget where it was. I've seen so many articles and tweets in the last few days on these trade rumors, and someone was saying that Pettersson might be more of a draft, like a guy who gets moved at the draft than in season.
Yeah, that sounds fair because they're going to get They don't have to move him. He's under contract for 1 billion years. They don't have to move him right now. So yeah, that's totally fair. Someone just taking way too much melatonin and a day late, I suppose.
You missed it last night. We broke. The Jets are really good.
The Jets are good, but outclassed is the incorrect way to define what happened. That was not an outclassing at all. The Islanders played them very well. You just have an outstanding goalie. That's it.
That was the difference, and I thought Hellebuck was awesome last night.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, what else we got here? There we go. Kyle makes you smile is on trade him now and get draft capital. I like the rhyme. That makes me smile.
Now is the time to do it.
Yeah, back-to-back games with the goal, buddy. He's hot. He's as hot as possible. Now you're going into break. Stock has risen as high as it possibly can go. Let's do it.
Now's the time.
Yeah.
There's a 2-week break to get it done.
Yeah, but Alardi asks, is it possible that Duclair is the Duclair from San Jose and he's really not that good? Just a thought. It's possible.
Sure. I mean, anything's possible. That was probably the worst that he's looked in his career, though, I would say. Unless maybe you go back to the Arizona years.
Yeah. I feel like he hasn't caught up to the train. I never thought he was going to be like this top line winger.
No.
Good player. Top 6, let's say middle 6 player for sure. Absolutely. But to then hitch our ride to him as a top line winger was always, in my opinion, a pitfall and peril type of move.
Sure.
Because he is a hot and cold player, as most are, but his hot and colds are seasons long.
Long streaks.
Yeah.
Very
so
sneaky.
It seems like we're in that round nowhere right now. Final one here from the Wicked 50 said tonight felt like a decisive game in the season, like last year when Lambert got fired. Sorry. Hopefully it means that it signifies us as sellers.
I hope so.
Do you think there's any, maybe we talked about this on the show, any credence, or I forget what the word is, but do you think there's a reason that the rumor that Brock Nelson has been offered a 3-year contract now has anything to do with going on a break after this game? Like, let's figure out where we are at with Brock Nelson before we get into this break, and then we can work the phone over these 2 weeks. Do you think that was kind of deliberate by Lou?
I would hope so. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that I would hope so. And if he doesn't accept the contract, like, we could discuss if it was the right decision or not. I think we both lean towards not. We would rather trade him. But I'm hoping it's Lou going, all right, I would like to keep you. Here's the offer. If you don't accept it, we're moving you by the deadline.
Yeah. I think that it was very deliberate by Lou. I don't think he does anything not deliberately. So it's very conscious, assuming that the rumor is indeed true, which sounds very Lou, so it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, I think that was absolutely deliberate. And so I think he knows where he stands vis-a-vis Brock Nelson and what he needs to do during this 2-week period. So good job.
We'll see if anything happens, but that looks like it'll do it for us tonight on this show. Please make sure to subscribe if you're new. Like the video before you get out of here. I'm Matt. He's Mitch, and we will catch you next time.